In this section, I'm also asking you to submit our first assembly code assignment, assignment 5, which will be similar to what I tried to present you in our handout for this week. Just make sure that you install Visual Studio if you don't have it already installed, and watch the video how you can create an empty project, add assembly file to the project, and experiment. Really, just I want you to experiment with these instructions and use one or more equivalent directives like I did over here. Experiment with a variety of instructions. It doesn't have to have a meaning, but I would encourage you to put these instructions, make registers visible, and step through them just to see what happens when you execute them. Okay, and also what I would like you to learn how to do is to add a listing file to our source file. So the listing file will be quite useful in many occasions. It just displays the true memory mapping of the executable image which is generated by the assembler. So these are the steps. Let's follow these steps to display how we can add a listing file to our program. So these are the steps. Basically, I have my week 5 project already open. So we jump to Solution Explorer, View, Solution Explorer. Here we go to the source files, and this is our source file. Of course, this is the input for our Microsoft macro assembler program. So we just jump to the properties of this file, and this is how it looks like. Just be careful that I just want you to focus on a specific build, debug and x86, which is the 32-bit. So here on this in this dialog box, notice that my configuration, it just still remembers the release where I was playing with the settings. So just make sure that you switch to active debug or debug, and make sure that this is 32-bit. And in the properties of macro assembler, right here, click listing file. Right, this is our listing file, and click assembled code listing file. You see there are many choices, but assembled code listing file is the last choice. Don't make changes over here. You may end up with strange errors because not every type of build will be able to provide those types of listings. So anyways, I'm asking you to provide this last item right here. And if you copy and paste this into this location, it's the target directory which I'm expecting this to be used as here week 5 debug. For instance, if this is a debug build, this is the target, and side by side with our executable file we should be able to observe creation of a listing file. Okay, so let's just make this change and click apply. Okay, so this was done through the properties of our source file, and now we're just going to build again. So let's just clean to just get rid of the results of prior build, and now build again. And observe that we just created this file with extension LST. This is the listing file. Okay, so there it is, the listing file, and this listing file now being generated as MASM listing. Over here, if you drag and drop it in your environment, you will see that the entire mapping of memory is now added to our source file, so we can observe how everything was built by macro assembler. We will talk about the listing file in the next section of our code, but I'd like you to learn how to generate listing file because it's extremely helpful information when you're trying to understand the results of your assembly build. So again, we will discuss this in our next section. And what I would like you to submit for this homework, you should be able to submit this listing file. Okay, so if you name your project A05, it will be named A05.lst. So that's what I want you to submit. I want you to upload this file. When you go to weekly assignments, click on submit A5. Just upload this file right here. This is what I want you to locate, find it on your system after successful build like this, and submit this file for this homework.